Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today's video I'll be introducing this fella to you. However, I'll introduce myself first just in case you're new. My name is Jamie, welcome to my channel. I make all sorts of planty content, and if you'd like to follow my journey then please hit that subscribe button, and yeah, let's get started. So, I'd like to introduce you to Jeff. He is my boyfriend's plant actually. He got him back in, I think he said September 2020. He is a ficus ginseng bonsai, I believe. However, he has gotten quite big, so I think he needs a pruning. I'll have to convince my boyfriend to let me chop him a little bit, because I don't want to do that without his permission, because it is his baby. However, we did agree to do a couple of clippings of him about a month ago, I believe. So I'd like to introduce you to Jeff Junior 1 and Jeff Junior 2. I took these clippings, like I say, about a month ago, and they have done really, really well. I didn't have any expectations of them to actually root. However, as you can see, they've done very well. So they've got lots new roots right here. So they do need a split and a repot. So that is what I'll be doing today. So since they are a ficus ginseng, like I say, I'm 99% sure of that, I will be using my fern blend. However, the fern blend is very, very similar to the ficus blend, but I didn't buy any ficus blend because I'm silly and I completely forgot that Jeff probably needs a repot eventually, and we didn't expect to do these yet. But I will be using the fern blend purely because it is very, very similar to the ficus blend. The only difference from what I can tell is that the fern blend is missing bark, and I believe it's got a little bit less perlite than the ficus blend. So I decided to put on my big girl boots today and try and do a partial DIY soil blend for these two. So wish me luck. So first I need to open up this bag, but always give them a shake. That should do. So I'll open this. Knowing me, I'll make too much as well, but worst case, I can always bag it up separately and save it for another time, because we don't want waste. So I'll just show you the blend right now. So this is the blend. It's very, very fine, as you can tell, because it's made for fern roots, which are very, very fine hair-like roots. But it's quite a sandy mixture, but it retains moisture really, really well. So I will be adding some perlite next, I believe. So I've got a big bag of perlite, and I'll probably just add a handful in at a time. And give it a good mix. And already that mixture is looking a little bit more airy. But I will add one more scoop and make a mess doing so as well. So there we go, that's looking a little bit more airy now, but it is still missing some bark. So this is the bark that I have. It is a finer grade of bark, as you can see. Just do a handful here, so there you go. It's like a finer grade, but I believe this should be okay as a substitute. I'm not sure which bark they use for the ficus blend, but this is the bark that I have, so this will do. So put in a handful at a time, give it a good mix. I'm going to make this a little bit chunky, just so that it's quite aerated. So one more handful, I think. And give that a mix around. I still think it needs a little bit more, because I don't want the roots getting absolutely saturated and staying saturated. So I don't mind doing a little bit of an extra chunkier mixture if it means that it will prevent root rot, because we don't want that. Especially for these young plants. There we go. So this is the blend now with the bark and the perlite mixed in. I believe this should do. It looks aerated enough, and worst case, we give it a try. The plant doesn't seem happy in like a month or so, and it means that I'll just have to bite the bullet, buy some ficus blend and repot the young plants. But it's always worth a try. I feel like gardening is very much about experimenting with your plants. So yeah, I'd rather give it a try and learn from my mistakes. Right, so these are the two pots that I'll be using. As you can see, they are a bit of a size up, especially considering I will be splitting these plants. However, the roots have grown tremendously, so I don't want to let it establish in a small pot and then have to repot in, say, like a month or two again. I'd rather them fill out in these. So let's get these babies out. So give the pot a gentle squish, a gentle lift, there we go. Oh, the roots are a little bit tangled. There we go. Oh wow, look at that root system. That's absolutely amazing and exactly what we want to see. So I'm going to remove quite a bit of soil. Also, don't panic. I know that the soil looks very wet. However, I literally just watered them, I think yesterday, which was silly of me. I should have waited, but I thought to quickly do this video today. So gently remove some of the soil. Start to tease those roots. So give them a gentle squish, just like this. And as you can see, that soil just gently lifts off. But yeah, like I said, Jeff has been with my boyfriend for I think almost 5-6 years. He's almost been with him for 5 years, yeah, because like I said, I'm pretty sure he said September 2020 was the day that was the month that he got him. But he has role played as a Christmas tree for us in the past when we didn't have one. So he has gone through a lot with us. Right, these roots are not wanting to cooperate. I don't actually know who owns these roots. I'm just going to gently, there we go, that'll do. So as you can see, they've got a similar size root system, however this one has got a much stronger root system, which is what I was expecting, because when I first took the clippings, it was only these base leaves. All of these central leaves are actually brand new. They're brand new growth, which is a really good sign. So this one's a little bit behind. However, I'm sure he'll also catch up. Now that we have our 2 seedlings and my hands are covered in mud already, it is time to repot. So a little bit at the base. I'll repot this one first. So gather up all the roots into the pot and start filling it up. Give it a little tap. I don't like to squish the soil into a pot because I always get concerned that I'm going to squish it too much and get rid of all that aeration and accidentally compact the soil. So I always tap it on the side. And that is one done. Now on to the next one. So grab some soil, pop that in the base, just like so. I know that this looks quite deeply done, however the roots have been really just going straight down, so I'd rather do it quite a thick layer at the base so that the roots aren't already near the end of the pot. So I'll just gently pop that in there. And they balance really well already, which is really good. And just gently fill up. To tap this bowl. I might have actually made just enough without any waste, which is brilliant. I'm usually really bad at measurements and estimating how much to do. And there we go. So I'll just add a little bit more to that one. And just pour the rest in. Without taking out the other seedling. I keep calling them seedlings, they're not, I don't think they're technically seedlings because these are clippings, but they are still a baby plant. And there we go. So we now have 2 potted up Jeff Juniors. So I will now have to find some decorative pots for them because we can't just leave them just like this, but I'm sure I'll find some pots very, very soon. And that is it for today's video. So if you enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of my content, then please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.